Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday in the Word. Hope your week is going fine. You're having a great time and spend a little time with the Lord. And this morning, our devotional is taken from the book of Leviticus, the third of the Old Testament books. And it's found in chapter 19 and verses 9 and 10. He tells the people of Israel, "When you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not wholly reap the corners of your field, nor gather the gleanings of your harvest. You shall not glean your vineyard, nor shall you gather every grape of your vineyard. You shall leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am the Lord your God." The Israelites had been on a really tough journey, over 400 years in Egypt, much of that time as slaves to the Egyptian Pharaoh. They had walked across the wilderness of Sinai, a journey which should have taken a few months that turned into a 40-year journey because of their disobedience. They had had many who had attacked them on the way, attacked the rear of their column and took their lives of their elderly and the weak, and had to fight battles, many battles. And then, of course, because of their own disobedience, most of those who left Egypt never even reached the promised land. Well, because of all of this, it would be easy for me to see, and I think you as well, that they could become very tough, hard, unforgiving, protecting perhaps of that which was theirs, and come to a place that when they got into their own land and the battles had all been fought and they settled down in the land, that they could become very hard taskmasters like they had endured in Egypt. So what does the Lord do? In Leviticus 19, he nestles this small little passage of scripture in the midst of the commands that he gives to Israel. And basically what he says to them, I don't want you to be like other nations have treated you. I don't want you to act like others have acted towards you. When you go to harvest, you gather your harvest, but you always leave some. You never bring it all in. When you take your grapes from the vineyards, you always leave some grapes. Why? Because in your land there are the poor and there are strangers, those who are traveling through. These people need to be shown something about God, and that is simply His kindness. So gather your harvest, enjoy what God has given you, but know this, that God always gives you enough to leave for the poor and the stranger. Gather your grapes, but leave some on the vine, because God put enough there to take care of all of your neighbors as well as you. In the New Testament, in Luke chapter 12, Jesus referred to this passage when he talked about a man who had a great harvest, and his harvest was so great he decided he would tear down his old barns and build bigger ones to keep more for himself. Jesus said the Lord came to him in the night and says, "Tonight your life's required of you." And then whose shall those things be that you tried to hoard and save? You see, stinginess, greed is not an attribute of our God, but kindness is. His kindness he wanted Israel to show the world through the way that they treated them. In that way, in the same truth, you and I, as God's children, we are to be kind one to another. We are to be kind to those around us and love those. We are even to pray for those who've made themselves our enemies and bless them who despitefully use us. You see, we're to be peculiar and different in the world. And this message, this truth, has been found and is found throughout the Scriptures. May God take this word and speak to your heart with it today. Have a great week.